Summer will be here before you know it. And what comes from that is the season of warmer weather, but also it's concert season. Is it worth it anymore?
Josh, I truly don't know anymore. I mean, have you really seen these prices? They're crazy.
I know it's absolutely ridiculous that a package does not get you what it was. And I mean, that goes for pretty much anything that you buy nowadays. But when you're spending big money on entertainment, I expect, at least, some perks to it.
Sure.
I'm going to tell you, it's not like what it was back in the day, that's for sure. Headlines are next. Stay tuned. We got a lot to talk about.
You are listening to The Facts, the Fellas and Facts podcast with your hosts, Josh and EJ. Starts right now.
President Trump said the U.S. Navy is working to clear mines in the Strait of Hormuz, a tactic that is effort to get traffic moving again through the strait. It's unclear whether a single mine has been deployed. Iran has mentioned only the likelihood of mines in the strait's pre-war routes. When asked about the estimate, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth told reporters Friday that the military would not speculate on a timeline, but he did not deny that it would likely take about 6 months to clear the mines. Meanwhile, President Trump is sending envoys Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner to Pakistan for a second round of ceasefire negotiations with Iran. The White House said Friday it is very unclear through when they were due to Isblan. Vice President J.D. Vance will not attend the talks. On Saturday, top officials from the Pakistani and Iran were also said to have met. We gotta just see where this takes us. I keep saying, the man has a plan, but I'm seeing gas prices go down from $4.22 to $4.16 where I'm at. I don't know if the city is seeing any kind of relief since.
I mean, here and there, Josh. I mean, couple cents here, couple cents there, but city's always weird just because they can corner the market in certain places. If you're the only gas station right off the expressway, you gouge it up because, hey, where else are you going to go if you got to get gas and you're running low? So it's always a little different in the city, but there has been a little bit of a decline.
Of course. And without anything, everybody has to get their fair share of money, which is not well expected. But again, what can we do about it? All we can do is just bitch about it. I think that's what normally people do is bitch. And, it's not like back in the day. Somebody used to say, I am tired of being overtaxed and I'm tired of paying high prices. So keep taking it, America. We love you. I got a good one for you. 4 men were arrested in Louisiana after a podcast helped solve decades-old murder of a teen girl. Did you hear about this? This was absolutely fantastic. I think podcasts are doing a lot. So Louisiana detectives are crediting a local podcast with helping to solve the decades-old rape and murder of a teenage girl. Over the past few days, police charged 4 men with aggravated rape and second-degree murder for killing Roxanne Sharp 44 years after her body was found in the woods. Sharp was 16 years old in 1982 when she was raped and murdered in the woods of St. Tammany Parish, Louisiana, about 30 miles north of New Orleans. Eventually, the case went cold, remaining unsolved for decades until investigators asked a local media company to produce a podcast about Sharp's murder, which was called Who Killed Roxanne Sharp? It went live last year with 6 episodes. It helped investigators piece together where Roxanne was days before to the time she died. Where we are at now, Louisiana State Police spokesperson Mark Gramillion told the Associated Press it was a very large help with getting that message out to the public and therefore those witnesses getting back to us. So now Perry Wayne, age 64, Daryl Spell, 64, Carlos Cooper, all 64, and then Billy Williams Jr., 62, have been all charged in connection with Sharp's death. What a great story piece to read, that podcasts are doing the damn thing and helping actual people.
Hell yeah. I mean, we get those alerts that, oh, $10,000 reward for this and for that. But honestly, when we see those on our phone, we just, exit it out. We scroll up and just ignore it. But podcasts, people listen to those regularly. So you get a good one. You ask for their help. And I guarantee things would get solved. We blast out an Amber Alert. Everyone sees it. Their phones go off like crazy. We get annoyed, even though it's something important. And we just casually say, well, I don't remember seeing this gray, van that went down the street an hour ago. And we move on. But a podcast you listen to, just like what we're doing right now, we're talking about some very popular things and topics. People are going to listen. Small fan base, big fan base. You can close a case if you reach out to some local podcasters.
And I love our fan base. So far, we have a pretty good following. I say, I don't care what people say, you don't have to have 1 million followers to be liked. Again, is that the goal? To reach more people? Yes, but it's all about the style. And I think we are doing a great job. But kudos to the boys in Louisiana to help solve this heinous act. Now we take it at home. What is going on with the Bears while Illinois lawmakers debate a bill meant to keep the Chicago Bears in Illinois? Officials in Hammond, Indiana have patiently waiting in the wings. Hammond Mayor Thomas McDermott said that both are optimistic and nervous. He says, quote, "We are competing against nostalgia. Even though the Bears fight song is the pride and joy of Illinois," McDermott said, if the Bears do stay in Illinois, it's not because Indiana didn't make a good offer. It's because of nostalgic purposes. This week, the Illinois House passed a mega projects bill, which would give the Bears property tax breaks if they move to Arlington Heights. McDermott said he has texted with the Bears executive since then. On Friday, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said that the state Senate needs to move somewhat expeditiously. So to pass this is very important. The mega projects bill, the team wasn't fully supportive of the version of the bill passed by the House. So Pritzker said the Senate will have to amend the measure. For example, the Bears were not on board with the 9% amusement tax. Here we go again. We have to add tax to the surrounding area of the stadium. The NFL owners are meeting next week, and they will be seeking an update on where it stands with the stadium. The NFL is giving around $700 million to the team for the project, and the league is growing, frustrated with how long the process has taken. Pritzker acknowledged that the pressure that adds with Indiana is still in the mix. We have a 9% tax that he is going to put more tax on the place. Isn't that great?
Fantastic. But honestly, Josh, if it stays in Chicago, I really don't care. Let Indiana stick to baseball and basketball, whatever else they do, casinos, but leave the Chicago Bears where they're at. Okay, no one's going to...
You really think so? You really think the Bears are going to stay?
I don't think they will. I want them to. I mean, like you said, the nostalgia behind it. It's the Chicago Bears. Monsters of the Midway. I'm not driving to Indiana to go watch a game, and I don't think many Chicagoans will drive to Indiana to watch a game. Yeah, maybe you can make a trip out of it. Maybe you can get some cheaper tobacco while you're out there, some cheaper gas while you're out there. Sure, you can do all those things. But who wants to go to Indiana to watch the Chicago Bears play? No, people from Indiana come to Chicago, and they can make a trip out of it. Go to our local restaurant, stay at a hotel, give the city back some money, whatever you need to do, but it needs to stay in Chicago. Plain and simple. Not even Arlington Heights. Yeah, Chicagoans will go out to Arlington Heights, fine. Woohoo. I could live with it being in Illinois at the bare minimum, but certainly cannot do Indiana. Not going to happen for me.
Do you think the Bears are really having a tough time deciding if Indiana or Illinois is going to be their new home?
I do, yeah. I mean, everything's about money. I just saw something the other day where public beaches now have pay to park. And I think they've always had it, but now they have an arm there. You get 15 minutes free, and then you got to go. After that, you're paying to go park at a beach to go have a good time. So, yeah, Chicago, Illinois, they're about their money. I get it. So financially, I don't like the decision that may be made, but I get it. But at the end of the day, Bears need to stay in Chicago. Figure it out. Charges more for parking. Hey, put more money towards the concessions. I don't eat there when I go to a game anyway. I'll pregame for free, go to the store ahead of time. I don't need to eat during those games. I just need beer. Now, if you jack up my beer prices, I might have something to say, but I can live.
This is the same thing that I'm talking about of these prices that are going up. You got to pay to park, pay to drink, pay to sit down, pay to eat, and then what you're already spending on tickets, especially for the View, you're spending about $300. I would say at least $300 per ticket, plus parking, plus drinks and food and all that good stuff. My thing about it is, let's worry about the cost, because everything that you have is a markup. So what's usually a $300 ticket, you may mark it up 2-3% and say, okay, we're going to charge that amount and then get a little bit back on the side, because that's how things work in everything that somebody buys. It's always a little bit of a markup. What you get for it originally, people are like, I want to pay that price, but then nobody makes money. There's no infrastructure updates. There's no property updates. Again, people need to realize that, okay, let's meet halfway in the middle. Let's make a little bit of money, but let's not seriously, and especially now in economic hardships, let's not charge them to death, because then they won't be there anyway. But I know our fan base, the Chicago Bears, they will pay for a $500,000 ticket in the middle of a snow blizzard just to watch the Bears go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm just saying that.
Absolutely. I mean, even the last game against the Packers, I mean, it starts to snow. You still have the fans with their shirts off. I mean, you're paying for an experience, no doubt, when you go watch the Chicago Bears. Win or lose, you're going to be heartbroken or you're going to have the best time of your life. But the atmosphere, the energy, that's what you're paying for. But I've learned
Absolutely
at a certain age, when that first came out, that Fireball whiskey, I started working at nightclubs. I saw a girl, got the bottle up there, working security, and I'm escorting this woman with the sparklers, with a bottle of Fireball, and she's charging $250 for a Fireball. And that was probably 10 years ago or something like that when I worked in my first.
And that's a very cheap whiskey, because
cheap, terrible whiskey.
It's a cheap whiskey.
Yeah. And yeah, $250 sparklers, and the people are having a time. Woohoo! Yeah, look at us. I'm like, you just paid $250 for a bottle of Fireball.
Correct. Which you can go to the convenience store and get it for $30.
Yep. And to your point, that's not even like a 3 or 5% markup. That's almost like a 60-70% markup to charge that much money. It was ridiculous. And I had to learn that at a very young age. And here we are now, Josh.
It's all about experiences. Speaking of experiences, today's show is all about the summer concert series. Is it worth it anymore? Are we paying too much? What are we getting included with our VIP packages? And what are we paying just as normal people sitting in the grass or sitting in a folding chair? We'll debate after these words from our sponsors. We'll be back.
Do you love looking in the mirror and saying, wow, my hair hasn't looked this good before? Majority of us guys feel like this each time we get a great haircut. Tired of not getting that same feeling? Well, I have the answer. Francisco, who operates Vancura Cuts, is the way to go. Stop going to those ordinary haircut chains that don't give you the same feeling of style and confidence. Let Fran hook you up. She's not that far from the suburbs, just right there in Joliet, Illinois. So follow her now on Instagram at Vancura Cuts, one word, that's VAQUERA, Cuts, and book your appointment now on Booksy.
Well, are you giving up your child for Coachella? Are you giving up your child for a 4-day pass for Lollapalooza? Are you giving a kidney or a lung just to go to a concert? What are you doing, EJ? Because I'm not paying for shit. I'll rather see it on YouTube.
Yeah, it's not going to happen. There's certain things I will do. I'll do a little VIP every once in a while. But other than that, these prices I'm looking at, it's not. Unless I'm working it and they're paying me, it ain't happening. It ain't happening at all.
Unless you know somebody that can give you on the cheap lowdown, I don't think. And what's surprising, it's all young kids with daddy and mom's money. It's not their money because God knows they're not paying for makeup. They're not paying for their outfits, their plane travels. Mommy and daddy are making great money, and they are taking that opportunity to go to Coachella for the weekend. What were you talking about what were you saying to me when we were discussing how much somebody spent at Coachella?
Well, I mean, Josh,
You said it was like it was an astronomical
oh my God, yeah,
kind of a price.
Yeah, I got a friend that went there, spent like 10 grand, and that really just gets you in the door. He got the 3-day or whatever, and he said he had a great time, but a lot of the amenities, things like that were included, really weren't included, right? Like you said, or we'll talk about here shortly. Yeah, you can go to a bathroom, you get some AC. Oh, you get to VIP to the bar. Well, that just gets you to a VIP bar. They didn't tell you that you got to pay for your drinks. Soft drinks, $12 for a soft drink. You're out of your mind.
Yeah, there's that underlying little small print. We're going to charge you $12 for a Coke, and then if you wanted a Truly or something, it's about $15.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Give me a bucket, please.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and then they'll tell, you get your own waitress or, server to come over to you. Okay, cool. That sounds great. But unless you pay her or pay for your items, she's going to walk up with an empty tray and say, hey, yeah, what do you want? Okay, cool. Then she's going to pull out that mobile, electronic payment thing out of her back pocket and say, here you go. And you're going to be like, what? What's this? And you're going to think like maybe it's for a tip or something. Oh, no, you still have to pay for whatever you just bought. Like, that's not all.
And then tip. And you can't pay, and you can't tip 20%. It's going to be a 30% tip.
If you wanted her to come back.
Correct. This ain't worth it. So now I got to pay somebody to go get my drink. I'm paying an overpriced drink, and then forget the food. I'm probably going to get 4 cheese sticks for $25.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Again, it's one of those things where when I heard that price, it blew me away, and some of these other prices we'll talk about. I mean, it just blows you away. Now, am I guilty of doing VIP? Absolutely. But when I'm paying for VIP, I am paying for that one artist. And me and my girlfriend, we are smart, right? We wanted to go see Anderson .Paak. First thing we want to do is figure out what album maybe he's going to be playing. Because maybe it's an album we don't like or we don't know. I don't want to go. But we did our research. We found out what he was playing. Oh, I'm paying for VIP. And yes, all the things that we mentioned, the VIP sitting area, the stage for you and up to 4 guests, the waitress, the food and all that. Knowing my experience, I already knew that certain things were going to come with a cost. But what? I wasn't going to go sit in the bleachers. I wasn't going to go sit with a whole bunch of other people next to me. I ain't doing it. So yes, I'm guilty of the VIPs. Absolutely.
It kind of ruins the vibe a little bit if you got some asshole or, punk that just wants to ruin the whole night, especially if your group is singing, dancing, and acting, having a great time. You got some moron or some Karen or John coming up to you and ruin your good time. So yeah, I'm going to sit next to somebody who has the same vibe as me. Absolutely. If I don't know them, I'm going to get to know them. I could go anywhere. And my older cousin, she can go anywhere too and make friends. And, she's spending, sparing them, drinks. And I'm like, excuse us, that's our bottle that we paid $300 for. Don't be sharing that with people. Okay. But it's all for good times because they're buying us drinks back. So it's all worth it. I'm not.
To me, that's probably like one of the best experiences is when you buy maybe like a 4-seat VIP spot. You don't have the other 2 guests. You're like, all right, we just want to be able to spread out. It's the same price whether 2 of us go or 4 of us go. And then you get that one couple that snuck their way in from, the lawn chairs. And they're like, hey, dumb question. Is anyone sitting here? Actually, we got this whole section, but no, come on in, because we already see the fact that you're having a conversation with them and you didn't just try to sit down. You actually talked and said, is someone sitting here? Come on in. Drink off the bottle.
Yeah, don't expect, because I want, don't do that.
Yeah, don't just try to sit next to us and just be like, oh yeah, these are our seats. Oh no, you're going to have to move around. That's not going to work. But if you have the conversation, again, I've done it. I've walked in from the lawn chairs, walked right up. Hey, is anyone, You mind? It's no different when you go to a baseball game, right? You buy the cheapest seats all the way in the bleachers, and then throughout the game, you slowly just start moving down and moving down. You get yourself a nice little front row, cool. But when you go to a concert and the tickets are astronomical, you better check in before you just try to sit next to me. Just check in.
Correct. Just have some common courtesy. Let's go over the numbers. So for control, I'm going to keep saying this name until it comes out the word and, off the tongue. Coachella.
There it is.
Coachella. Oh, for 2026, general admission. This is just general admission passes.
One day.
$549 to $649. That better be a blowjob in that $549 pass or some kind of massage.
Yeah, there's gonna be one. You just gotta get it yourself.
I'm just saying, because if I'm paying $549 for a general admission pass, you better damn believe that if I'm paying money, there better be something more than this. But no, America, that's not true. You guys are paying $549 just for the generic seats, sweaty as hell, standing on your feet for the whole time. Am I wrong to think that?
No, you're right. You are right, and it is unfortunate. And I get it. Everyone's got to make their money. I get it, but at some point, for regular general admission, I think we can do better. I think we can do better if I got to be in a mosh pit with sweaty people and all that type of stuff. I think we can do a little bit better on general admission passes. I know we're going to talk about the VIP numbers. We'll talk about that. But for GA, $150. Let me get in there. I'm going to be on my feet the whole time. I got to use porta potties. My big ass squeezing in porta potties, hoping they don't rock the thing over because they're just all having a good time. Like, come on now. Come on. $600 to put my cheeks on another person's seat. Have you looked at those porta potties, Josh? I'm not going to get started.
I hate going to places that have porta potties.
You heard me?
Especially if you're going on the third day, you know damn well they're not cleaning them bitches. Okay? So you're going in there, somebody just had a fried attack. they just had a bunch of fried food. They damn well know that they're on Ozempic. And then now they're shitting this shit out, okay? Trust me, I'm a big guy. I'm on Ozempic too. And if I eat the wrong thing, I'm in the bathroom 2 seconds later, okay? And all these skinny bitches and all these men are taking Ozempic because they want to be paper thin. And they're in the bathroom, and I'm sorry, but I gag when I smell other people's rancid asses, okay? If I smell you, I'm gagging. So just picture me in a fucking porta potty. I can't do it. And then I'm puking all over the fucking porta potty anyway. And it's like, oh, God. And then they said, wash your hands. So I always take hand sanitizer wherever I have like a little mini bottle. You know, call me, cheesy or whatever the case may be. I don't care. Judge what you got to do. But people go, oh, this is nice water. This is, good water. This is clean water. No, it's not. It's recycled shitty poo water that you're using that somebody else said. And some people just walk away without washing their hands. And I know what they're doing because you can hear them grunting. And I'm like, you sick bastard. You go wash your motherfucking hands right now. Because then you're going to offer me a drink and you're touching the rim. Here's people doing it. Here, you want something? I'm like, no, thank you.
And I'll say this, listeners, from what you just heard, think about all that. And you paid up to, for general admission, $650 for that experience. Not to say you're not going to listen to some music and do some drugs and have a good time. But at some point, you're going to go to that bathroom. At some point, you're going to wait 10, 15 minutes to get a drink. At some point, somebody's going to, take a water bottle filled with like acid and spray your arm. And next thing you know, you're tripping. If that's the experience you want, pay your $650.
And then here's the best part. some of these kids and these people wear diapers the whole time. Like if you go to one of those, you know, if you ever go to this, like one of those EDM, like dubstep, you know, festivals that they have, there are people that will sit at or sleep at the position that they want to see the stage. And they're in diaper. You're telling me that there's no hippies out there that would rather shit and piss all over themselves just for a good view to have a good time?
You know,
let me tell you something. I was brought up, wash your ass, wash your ass, brush your teeth, smell good. But if you smell like something that came out of a horror story, no, thank you.
Yeah, Josh, that's that's something. You know, I've worked a lot of festivals. That was my thing. I still even do it sometimes up to this day. And I can say confidently, I've never heard of that one. I believe you. I'm concerned. Also, I do this to a lot of people all the time. If you tried as an adult, and I'm not talking someone that can't control peeing themselves or pooping themselves, have you ever tried just to pee your pants? Like just said, hey, I'm going to put all my thought into trying to pee my pants. Could you do it? Right now on this show, could you do it?
Not since I was 4 years old, 3 years old, or whatever time I was trying to learn how to go into the potty. I can't do it.
You can't undo it.
I feel uncomfortable. I feel uncomfortable doing it. It's not like, oh, I'm waiting to go. And now if something happens, like everybody's been in that predicament where you're on your way home, you're stuck in traffic and you're gripping your cheeks together because you don't want to shart your pants. So you're like,
sitting upright.
You're like, oh, you know what? What's going on down there? Hopefully I make it. And then sometimes you're going up the stairs very slowly and you're like, oh man, it's running down my, and then you get in the shower and you're like, this is nasty. This is just disgusting.
Oh man, the worst is when you're like halfway, you're walking up your steps and you got to pee. I've peed so many times on my front steps or right off in the bushes. And I'm sure my neighbors are like, bro, you couldn't like walk down the bathroom. Like, no, I'm watering the plants. I couldn't make it. Look, like if I could...
hold on. I get out the car and I'm out there in the backyard. All of a sudden,
it's the best feeling in the world when you finally just get to go. And hey, I would love to use my bathroom. I mean, we pay to use the bathroom, but hey, at the end of the day, if I got to go, and I can't make it up those 3 steps or down those 3 steps to my garden unit, hey,
I gotta go right now.
Gotta go right now. Well, all right, let's get back on topic. All
right,
where are we at here?
Let's get back into it. So the GA prices are that. Now let's pay a couple, $500-$600 more for the VIP passes. Due to high demand, the resale prices for 2026 reached over to $5,000 for GA, $10,000 plus for VIP, with 2027 advancing tickets beginning at $49 down, according to the reports in mid-April. So you get everything between the sections and all this other stuff. So let's take it at home. Maybe we're not traveling to Coachella. Is Coachella in the same place every year, or is it in different states or neighborhoods? How does that work?
I thought Coachella moved around, but I can't say for certain, but I think it did.
It's not like Lollapalooza where it's going to be in Grant Park every year between August,
I don't think it is, but if someone's listening and we're wrong, well, okay, sue us, whatever.
Comment and tell us what's the deal here.
That's a better answer.
The gist?
Comment and tell us, don't sue us.
Yeah, I was just about to say, whoa there, buddy boy. Let's not get into that. So if you love Coachella, good luck with all the high prices. Trying to fly. If you're stupid enough to drive, you're still paying high taxes and whatever the case may be. Lollapalooza 2026, a 4-day general admission ticket starts off at $399 plus tax and fees. For early pre-sales, increases occurring that sell out. Other official ticket prices for the 4-day packages start at $735 for general admission, $1,599 for VIP, and $4,600 for platinum single day tickets. Generally start around $185. So this is what you get at Lollapalooza. At Lolla, you get private. You get the club access, dedicated space, relax before, during, and after the show. So private bathrooms, which is air conditioned, located in the club area. dining and drinks, access to a full service and high venue bar. The VIP exclusive viewing areas, dedicated raised viewing platforms on the field. The Lala lounges, there's 2 of them, north and south, with relaxed shaded seating, hammocks, and place to escape the crowd, air-conditioned restrooms, golf cart transportation, food and beverage, complimented services, free daily glitter stations, and hair services.
Woohoo.
So, girls, if you want your glitter, you get free glitter. Woo! Amenities are free water refill stations because you don't want to, drink yourself to death and get dehydrated. On-site lockers and mobile charging units because everything has to be Facebook, Instagram, TikTok worthy. And dedicated merch store. And then you get concierge staff, on-site VIP to staff to assist you with your needs. Is it worth it? So $4,900 for a single day. If you don't want to go to all 3 days, is that pretty much worth it?
Josh, I truly don't know. Coming from a person that's worked it several times, whether I was running gates, working VIP sections, I do see the euphoria that people have when they're there. So I will give it that. Maybe at the end of it, you check your bank account the next day and you're like, no, I don't know if this is worth it. But while you're there, I will say people seem to enjoy it. However, I think there is something that we need to mention on what you were reading. Access. That is a definition that needs to be studied before you purchase something, because access gives you just that, access. And I think the terms and conditions need to be read. And before parents go out and buy their kids, whatever it may be, the VIPs or the GAs, make sure you read over everything. Club access. Well, that's just that. Get access to the club. That doesn't mean you get all the amenities in the club for free. You just get to go into this club area and spend more money. So I just, is it worth it? I think it can be. But I think you just need to make sure, do a pros and cons list. Hey, okay, cool. I get a concierge staff, but then I got to pay for everything that the concierge is bringing. Maybe that's not worth it. The free water refill stations, by the way, that's everywhere. All throughout the concert, all throughout Grant Park, like it is water everywhere. You can bring in a certain little water bottle thing. If you come in there bringing your own water thinking you're going to save money, we're going to dump it out because it's free. So I love that they try to call that like an amenity. It's not. On-site lockers. You got to pay for that. You got to pay for it. I don't care if they say it's in your package. You got to pay for the locker. Chargers, you got to pay for that. They put a timer on it. You get like 4 hours. You got to bring it back. You don't bring it back, they charge like $5. So everything comes at a cost. Even when it sounds like it's free, they almost rather you lose it so they can charge you more on the back end. So, hey, 4 hours for this phone charger at $25. Sounds good. I'd rather you lose the damn thing so I can charge you $175 because I only paid $50 for it. So yeah, lose it, give it away. We don't care because either one, we got it insured, or two, we're just going to charge your account here in the next 2 days and say you didn't bring it back. Take that out of your check. So again, for me, I do think there's times where it is worth it. I do see the people's faces that shows that it's worth it. But I think there is a price cap where I think you're just out of your mind. And I would probably say for a 3-day, if you get outside the realm of like $2,000, no, absolutely not. Where are you staying at during that time either?
That's my point. And city hotels are not cheap
at all.
And sometimes suburban hotels are not cheap. Like I was looking for a hotel just to stay for the night, and it's after a wedding, one night, $326.
Yep. That sounds, it depends on the time of year. I mean, I know we used to, at the company I worked at, when we were doing this festival, we used to bus people in from Texas to help out with staffing. And we would always try to get hotels further away from Lollapalooza. But guess what? Those hotels in the suburbs, they knew that Lollapalooza was still going on in Chicago. So they said, hey, we're going to try to match some of their prices too, because people are going to go that far. We were about 45 minutes from Grant Park trying to, get our prices down, our cost, still end up paying a fortune. So
yeah, people are not stupid.
No. So, I mean, like I said, would I do it? No. Would I do some of it? Maybe if I knew, rest in peace DMX, but let's say he was performing, yeah, I would probably pay a good amount of money, not 2,000, not 5,000, but I would pay, maybe up to $1,000 for a VIP little box to go see DMX, like my favorite artist. But then everyone else that's maybe coming on before him, I don't know. That's how they try to get. It's like, oh yeah, here are all your headliners, here's this. But what if you only want to see one person? Hey,
Correct.
I'll wait around and see if you're playing at a local show in Chicago somewhere, I don't know, where it's just you performing. I'll do that. We'll leave it at that.
Now, you worked Lollapalooza every year.
Yeah, for about 4 years, yeah.
Correct.
And then I would do, I don't know.
So for the last 4 years, what is the age group that you see? Is it more of the like 19, 18 to 30, or is it like middle age?
It's kind of,
because I don't see a lot of things for somebody who's 45 and up listening to their favorite bands coming there, unless they're a special guest. But then again, like you mentioned, you say, okay, well, I'm only want to listen to this one group. They only do one song, and then I'm paying, the rest of the money for hearing all the Sabrina Carpenter's Chaperone and all this other stuff.
I mean, I'd say I see it up to maybe like in the 40s. I mean, obviously you got the young kids there that dominate it, probably at like 60, 70%. But you do have people in the 30s, 35, 40 that, like you said, have that one particular artist that they want to see, and they'll go to it and they'll listen to that. And then you got the chaperones of all these young kids, which I do commend these parents that do take a group of, 6 girls to Lollapalooza, and you follow them around the whole time and make sure they're safe and all that kind of stuff. I commend you, because I can tell you right now, if Lollapalooza is still a thing when my daughter's old enough, I do not want a chaperone. I will, simply because I worked it. I know what happens there. I want to give you a little bit of freedom, but the music, by the time she's going to Lolla, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm going to lose my mind going to that. And then we forget too, like, this is Chicago. Those rainy times that we've had at Lollapalooza, you're slipping and falling. There's mud everywhere. I hope Lollapalooza is not a thing for my daughter when it's time. I really do.
The crazy thing that you mentioned that, and it always seems to rain every time Lolla comes or something like that. And a lot of people go, well, it's not going to dry up. So you're sitting in grass, and if that keeps getting walked over, it becomes muddy. Yeah. I hate that.
And Josh, you better hope that it's because it's raining, because the amount of girls that will just sit there and hike up their dress and just pop a squat in the middle of the field like it's nothing mid-conversation is wild. It's just wild.
See, that's the shit that I'm talking about. Here's some petty ass people that is just going to squat like a damn dog. And I've worked downtown at residential buildings, right? And there's like this pet walkway that smells like absolute piss and shit. So just picture that in the middle of Grant Park. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy. And like I said, it'll be mid-conversation. Like I'll be in a golf cart cruising or something. And it's almost like you're at like a zoo, right? Like, oh, and over to your right, you got, Betty over here, pop. Oh, and then over to your left, you got this guy taking a tab of something, holidays. And, as we're looking for sponsors, you got the Carpay guy, the deodorant guy walking around with the Carpay. Hey, you need a roll. I mean, it's just crazy. It's like an attraction. Like, if you don't go there for music and you just want to people watch, you could do that for hours. You really could.
I am going to get a 6-seater golf cart and charge people just for tours, not listening to the music. Just be like, on the left, you see the crackhead. On the right, you see the bucket boys. And then we're going into the actual attractions. So here's the drunken young girls. Oh my God, what are we doing next? He was such a bitch. And then there's so much drama happening, and all of a sudden there they go, pop a squat, take a piss, and then away we go.
Don't forget, here's the U-Haul filled with like 30 kids about to bum rush this fence on the backside. Don't forget those over there. I still remember my first year doing Lolla. We had like 10 kids try to rush through the gate, and we try to grab them or whatever, because there is a serious security concern, right? I'm not thinking these kids are doing any harm to anybody, but at the end of the day, looking at these prices, I get it. Like, hey, all the people paid thousands of dollars to be in here and you're sneaking in. But there was a older lady, when I say older, and I don't want to offend her, but I think she was in like her 60s, so I'm not going to call her older than me. And she's walking with a cane, and she just gets her legs taken from underneath her. And she's, oh, my back, my hip, my everything. She just had hip surgery a month ago.
Oh,
You know, we helped her up and stuff. We had her sitting down. I'm sitting here like, so you just had hip surgery. You're on a cane and you're at Lollapalooza. And she's just like, well, I don't know what band it was. She's like, so-and-so's playing. And, you know, you never know if you're ever going to see him again. And I was just like, ma'am, I commend you. I really do. But
now you're going to be handicapped
handicapped
for the rest of your life because
literally, a month after a hip surgery, you got to walk everywhere. It's not like she had the VIP, get the golf cart. She's just trying to scoot with her cane for Lollapalooza. She just got GA, so she's going to be all with all the young kids. And I'm just like, that's dedication. Is there a band or two or an artist or two that I would go through the trenches to go see before they retire or leave this earth? Yeah, there's probably one or two. But I'm certainly not going to do it fresh off a hip surgery. I'm certainly not going to do it with a cane. But I'll go to a controlled venue. I'll do that. I'll do something like
I will too. Now, because now it's controlled. I'm paying for my seat. You know, it's controlled. It's, you know, climate controlled. I'm not walking on uneven surface here.
Yeah.
You know, United Center, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Great.
I think me and my girl went to Riot Fest last year. We went on a Sunday. She had one band that she wanted to see, something corporate. I don't think they do too many shows in Chicago. And I did not want to go. We were doing GA. I'm like, I don't want to go to Douglas Park. I've worked Riot Fest. Again, maybe it's just being biased that I don't want to do some of these shows. But I said, okay, let's go. So we're in GA. And I don't do well in crowds, like not anymore. You know, after all my experiences, I just don't do well in that crowd, right? So we're in the back. Somehow, just by, it's not gravity by, but whatever it's called, whatever you scientists out there call it, we end up being almost in front of the stage. We had to travel about 100 yards from where we were. No one touched us. No one put their hands on us to move us, but somehow the vortex or gravitational pull put us right at the front of the stage. And by the time I look around, I'm ready to have a panic attack. I'm like, hey, yo, how did we get here? And then I got, you know, people all up on you, rubbing on you, you're sweaty. And then Josh, right on cue, it starts to rain. Now it's hot, it's humid, it's raining, my glasses are fogging up. But my girl had a good time. If she listens to this episode and she goes, oh, you told me you had fun. I did. And I didn't complain to you. A year later, I'm letting it all out right now. But she had a good time. Would I do that again? I'll do it on my own terms. We'll get the VIP. If you want to go that bad, we'll get the VIP. I'll spend the money. We'll get a VIP area. We can do anything you want in that VIP area, but I'm certainly not going to let this vortex put me in another uncomfortable position again. It's not going to happen. Mm-mm.
I agree. All right, one more amphitheater we have to discuss, and that was the former Tweeter Center, and all you old people know what we're talking about. It's right there off of I-80 in Tinley Park, next to the CarMax. Now it's called, after 25 name changes, Credit Union 1 Amphitheater in Tinley. Typically costs between $100 to $600 per VIP ticket boxes. Now, this is boxes. These are better views, accommodates up to 18 people, generally range from $100 to $800 per ticket, club access, a dedicated space to relax before, during, and after the show. Perfect, because trying to fight everybody to the parking lot sucks. Like if I'm at a concert, we try to leave a little bit earlier, make our way so we can get out the parking lot, because then you got to wait to go down escalators, stairs, ramps, getting your car back up, and then you're sitting for another hour trying to get out the fucking lot. You get private restrooms, air-conditioned private restrooms located in the club area, dining and drinks, access to a full-service bar and menu, early entry, 30 minutes early entry to the venue at a private entrance, live entertainment, live music before the concert, merchandise concierge, a special, less crowded area to buy merch. That's probably up my alley. But a lot of people don't go, a lot of artists that are well known don't go down to the suburbs. The older artists do, like Toby Keith when he was alive, Tim McGraw. Who else did I see down there? Poison and Kiss back in 03, 04. But you don't see Sabrina Carpenter, Taylor Swift, or anybody else going down there. If in the wintertime, they're either at United Center, Wrigley Field, Soldier Stadium, or they play at Lollapalooza. I wonder why that is. More populated.
More populated, probably. And then you got to think about the money, too. You know, if you're charging only this much for VIP boxes and the artist is charging, $100,000 a show, you're not really going to probably make your nut if you're the venue. And you don't want to price gouge, right? You want to be able to keep saying, like, hey, we have reasonably priced stuff. So I get it. And, you got to think, too, based on your demographics, who's coming out to your show? If you're, I'm trying to think of some popular Chicago, I don't know. If you're like Chance the Rapper, I don't think you're going to go out to the Tweeter Center or whatever it's called, Credit Union 1, because the demographics of who's listening to your music may not want to travel out there. They'd rather go down to the city instead of having to get in a car, pay for parking and things like that. If you get a better line that goes to that venue, maybe. But I just don't think you can afford to charge only $800 for VIP for Big X the Thug or the Plug or whatever his name is.
But here's the thing. So older artists like Paul McCarthy, when he was touring, funny story about this. I worked in the warehouse right in front of the Tweeter Center at an amphitheater. So on summer nights, it would be cool when you're on break and you would hear concerts live. Paul McCarthy is very powerful, very rich, but his tickets are very priced out nicely. Yeah. So the fact of the matter is that artists have enough nerve, especially younger artists that don't have a pot to piss in or a name or a reputation, are charging all these, high ticket prices. It's like, work hard, know what you need to do, and then at the end, know who your fan base are. That's why older artists say the younger generation just doesn't get music. It's just all about money to them. But back to Paul McCarthy's concert. So working before the concert, this was like the year that Ariana Grande suffered that bombing in the UK. So everybody was on the high fence about going to concerts and everything. So my dad was working the concert as an undercover money person. So what he would do would go to vendor, pick up the money, and then drop it off in a safe location. He was undercover, which was a really cool job. But he said, I got to hear Paul McCarthy in person. That's the coolest jobs that you can have, is doing that stuff. Even though you're working, you could still see and hear your idols and maybe get a glance backstage. Yeah. You get more of that VIP. So I'm working across the street, and all of a sudden we see the cavalry pull up, and it's CERT, SWAT, county. I'm like, and they're all getting out, nothing marked or nothing. And they got these high range rifles and I'm like, I hope you guys are police. And they're like, yes, we're the CERT team. We're the SWAT team. We're here to protect Sir Paul McCarthy. So they're going into the fields. They're setting up snipers, big ass tanks and Jeeps. And I'm like, holy fucking shit, just for Paul McCarthy. And then he had a fabulous concert. I watched it on YouTube a couple days later. Some idiot posted it on YouTube, but it's like absolutely nuts to see what an artist can do. But that was just the greatest story that I keep sharing because it was a cool moment. It was a very cool moment. All right, so now we're going to get into the most devastating thing. Live Nation Attorney General Brian Schwab announced that Live Nation, which owns Ticketmaster, so these are one of these ticket prices, ticket websites that you can get, half price, will pay $9.9 million to resolve allegations that it misled customers about ticket prices, change deceptive fees, and use illegal pressure tactics to get fans to buy tickets for a decade. Since the Office of the Attorney General began its investigation, Live Nation has changed its practices to provide customers information about the total ticket costs up front. That's also shares about information on the purpose of fees and how they are shared among the companies receiving them. Live Nation has agreed to maintain these charges in addition to making a monetary settlement payment. So, listeners, you go on Live Nation, you want to see whoever. All right, $292 for this seat per ticket. Okay, do. And then at the end, you're paying $600. Would you be pissed off or not?
A little bit. And again, what am I getting out of it? Even the terms and conditions are still tough. You might say $300, like you said, taxes and all that. Next thing you know, $500-$600, and you think you're good. You're like, okay, I could live with this. And then you get there, and you're sitting there. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. And next thing you know, you're upside down in it. I commend you, parents, if you're nice enough to pay for your kids to go to these things. Like I said, study up and just have a realistic expectation of what you're going to spend. Take your $500 and just round it up to $1,000, because you're going to have times where, I'm not going to eat this whole time. And then next, you're starving. You're paying for it. I'm just going to drink water. I don't really drink. And then next, I want a Red Bull though. I need a little energy. All right, well, that's going to be $9.25. You can get 3-pack at the old 7-Eleven or 4-pack for $9, but you're going to get one for $12. Those things I think need to be mentioned. I think it's important. And like I said earlier in the show, just read it, educate yourself on it, and don't be misled or blinded by the experience that you might have. Actually, budget, think about what you're going to be doing.
Agreed. At least tell the prices up front, like, hey, this is what our prices are going to be for a Red Bull or a Truly or a beer, and just say, hey, we're not going to surprise you. This is what it is. We understand it's going to be expensive. Everybody knows this. My last question on this is, do you eat before you go to a concert or after?
I'm probably eating before I go. I'm not going to eat there. I'm trying to, have a good time and all that. I don't need anything to go wrong in my night because I ate something and probably was drinking and all that. So no, just put some food in your stomach. It's not like, now if we're talking about a regular concert, a couple hours, that's very different. Eat before you go. 12-hour concerts, stall dayers and all that. Be prepared to spend some money. You need to eat something while you're there, soak up alcohol, whatever you're doing. But for me personally, yeah, I'm gonna eat. And Josh, one thing you just said too, putting on your website, Truly's cost this, food costs that, all the, the pricing. I don't even go to restaurants that when I look at the menu ahead of time, if you don't have a price on your food, I'm not going. Count me out.
Exactly.
I don't care how many Instagram views you got on it. I don't care. No, if I pull up your menu and it says ragatouille pasta or some nonsense like that, and the picture looks great, and then when I look to the far right, I don't see a price. Nah, I'm good.
Nope, you can keep that. Nope, thank you. I agree. I like to either eat before.
You're muted.
But sometimes I get worried depending on the traffic. Depending on the traffic, I get worried about eating a little bit before because I want to make sure I make the concert. So I don't want to be too much and I don't want to be too early. So eating after, it's perfect. Like you go out on a night out of town, you want a pregame, cool. Let's do that. Let's not spend a lot of money at the venue. But I think there's going to be a big change after the settlement with some big ticket sellers, and hopefully everybody else gets on board.
Yeah, I agree. And, honestly, I think that the venues need to start coming together, and Ticketmaster and everybody, and say, hey, if we start changing our prices on the inside and we start changing how much the cost of ticket sales are going to be, it's going to force artists to also lower their prices because they're not going to get booked. You're charging $100,000 for a show, so it forces you to charge higher ticket prices. Well, if you say, hey, we're not doing that anymore, we're going to be like the credit union one, and we're going to make reasonably priced things, it's going to force these mainstream artists to, take a good look in the mirror and say, hey, $100,000, yeah, maybe I can't charge that. I need to lower my prices. And that way it's affordable for everyone to go. And I think this stuff with Ticketmaster and Live Nation, I think that will start to kind of shake up the world a little bit.
I agree. Well, let's get back to this. This was a fabulous conversation, and I can't wait for some more summer concert series talks. Hopefully we get to a concert this year, see who's coming up. But we got to take our last commercial break. As I'm dying over here. We'll be right back. We'll be right back after these quick words from our sponsor, and then we will get into our viral video of the week. Stay tuned.
Style is a big deal for all of us, especially me. I like to look my best from head to toe. And speaking of toe, I know an incredible individual that her work speaks for itself. Margaret Ray, the owner and founder of Simplest Shoes in Dalton, Illinois, will have your footwear looking from drab to fab in no time. Your unique eye of color and detail is like art that will make your shoes shine, dazzle for days to come, making everyone you know ask where they could get a pair too. All you have to do is call Margaret at 708-953-0015 and discuss the many custom options and designs. Also, give her a like on Facebook at Simplest Shoes with a Z today.
All right, so now it's time for the viral TikTok moment of the week. My favorite segment. And what we're going to do is play it and see what comes around. This storyteller, this content creator says, something unexpected came from my fiance just before our wedding. Take a listen.
You're literally not going to believe this, but my fiance wants his dad to check my hymen before we get married. My fiance proposed about 8 months ago, and everything seemed to be going really, really well. I'm a virgin, and so is he. And he said that he wanted to wait until marriage, which I didn't put up a fuss. I was like, it's fine. We can just do that. I'm okay with that. He told me earlier that in his family, the father always checks the virginity of the bride the night before. And I thought he was joking. I thought it was a massive joke, but he was dead serious. Looked at me in my face, dead serious. He said that the night before the wedding, he wants me to my legs for his father, himself, his brother, and their uncle.
Wait, the fuck? Fucking shit, what the hell? What kind of family is this?
Hey,
I
man,
mean,
this...
what kind of sick, twisted shit
bullshit
is going on in the world?
Man, you lost me when I heard my father-in-law. And then I heard the uncle, the brother, and somebody else is going to be looking at my future wife's kuka. No. I'm cool.
It gets better. It gets better.
I told him there's a fat chance that that's not going to happen, and he was begging me to go forward with this. Begging me. He said, my mom did it, and I just want you to prove to me how much you love me. And I left sobbing. And honestly, I want to call it the entire wedding for this. I want to call it off. But at the same time, besides this, we are absolutely perfect for each other. This is really important to him and his family. I don't know what to do. I'm at a friend's house right now, and I just need help. What do I do?
My dear, my dear, my dear. Let me tell you the first thing that you should do. Make sure that you run. You run fast. You don't look back. Even though if you were compatible for each other or not, run like the wind, Bullseye. Because at the end of the day, if you feel comfortable, I don't care if your mother did it or not, you're not having your brother, your uncle, your father look to ensure that you are a virgin. Hello? Doesn't anybody have privacy? What kind of Christmas dinner would you have? Talking about, yes. So you saw my hoo-ha.
Oh, not the hoo-ha.
Am I wrong?
Oh, no. What? She's got 99 things right and one problem that is a big one. You know, you always say you want to check off a lot of boxes with your significant other. You know, some people are like, hey, they got to check off 5 of 10 boxes, 7 of 10. This person could check off 9 of 10 boxes, but that one box that her husband ain't checking off, that's a deal breaker. You know, I know we say, oh, don't want to have kids, deal breaker. Don't want to do this, deal breaker. This is a deal breaker. This head for high waters, get the hell out. And I know this, guys. I know there's going to be some listeners, whether it's on this girl's platform or ours, that are going to say,
right,
well, what is she hiding? It shouldn't be that big of a deal. If you are a virgin, then it shouldn't matter. They'll see that you are, and everything should be all hunky-dory. My ass, Josh. Hey.
Common privacy tells you that if you have to admit that you're a virgin and get visually inspected, now, okay, some religions do need to do that, but a doctor does that, not the whole fucking family.
That I can agree with. Now, if you want to send it to a doctor, my religion doesn't need that. My beliefs don't need that. Nothing that needs that from me. But if you said that you was going to send her to a doctor, then maybe I would say, okay, because that's your beliefs. Go ahead, go to a doctor, get that stuff figured out. On the backside, Josh, let me ask you this. Let's say she says, okay, I still don't want to go to the doctor though. It's your choice to say whether or not you're going to get married, but you know that she didn't even want to go to the doctor to do it. Are you concerned now that she isn't a virgin?
At this point, if I was the guy, I would have said, you know what? If love conquers all, then I'm still going to marry her and I'm not going to be worried about it. Because at the end of the day, she's showing me. Yeah.
Right, but would you want her to
tell me?
Okay,
so are you telling me if I am the boy in this story or the guy in this story?
Correct. You're the guy. Your parents say, hey, this is our tradition. You need to let your fiance know this has to happen. You say, hey, can we compromise and just do a doctor? So you go to your fiance and you say, hey, my dad and my brother and my uncle wanted to be the ones to inspect you based on our traditions and our beliefs. However, I'm willing to compromise and just have you go to a doctor just to appease everybody so we can get this marriage going.
Well, I'm kind of like the rebel. Okay. I'm the rebel and I wouldn't listen to what my parents would have to say because again,
cool.
You know what I mean? Like I think that private is privacy.
Okay, cool. Now you say, okay, well, can you just tell me just so I can just for my peace of mind, are you a virgin? She says, yes, I am. Wedding night happens. You go to the smush room. Hymen is not intact, broken, beat up, drive a school bus through it. Hot dog through a hallway.
Your terminology for that one was totally off the rocks, and I'm so sorry for that, ladies. I'm very sorry.
I'm
Hot
sorry
dog
too.
to a hallway. How
Yeah,
big do you think that narrow pathway is?
I'm just saying, man. There's expectation, right? That is, if she says she is a virgin, you expect that, you know, you're going to need extra WD-40 to get in there. Right. And and instead you get down there and, you know, all of a sudden, you know, you put it in and the air just comes out the sides of it because, you know, it's just that much room. Right. Now, maybe that's on you. Maybe that's on the person themselves for what you work with. But I'm just saying, she didn't want to go to the doctor. She didn't want to do this. She says, no, I'm good. Hymen's intact. Wedding night is over. In the smush room, you go down there, loose as a goose.
At the end of the day, it's already been done. Like, we just spent how much on this weddings? Like, I would have a debate, and I would be really ticked off. And that would be the first official fight. But at the end of the day, if I really love this woman, this girl, I have to deal with what I have to deal with. That's why I'm very cautious in getting married, okay? Just like you, I'm very cautious. I'm very particular. I don't care about looks or hold on. Strike that, reverse it. Okay? I care about your personality and if you're going to lie to me, then we have a problem at the first. Just be upfront and honest with me, and then we'll go from there, okay?
Ladies, if you're listening, he's a keeper. He doesn't care about your looks. He doesn't care what your hymen's up to.
Wait a minute. Okay. If you're missing a tooth and you don't brush your teeth, you don't care about your skin, okay? If you don't take care of yourself, I take care of myself. Hair is done. My somewhat goatee, you can see it underneath the lights, but in natural light, you can't see it. You know, it's kept up. I smell good. I look good. I don't look like a slob. I expect the same in my, you know, significant other. That's all I'm saying.
But if she lies to you about that hymen, you're done. I'm sorry. Ladies, if you lie to Josh, that's going to be our first fight, but y'all going to work it out. You lie to me, that's it. I don't care how much money we done spent on this wedding. I don't care about none of that. At the end of the day, all word is bond. Ain't that what this word is bond? If we get back home and I go down there and you had your out, you had your chance to tell me the truth. And if you know me, you know how I'm going to react. So why would you wait all the way until it's time to then let me find out that way? No. There's a way I can find out. You could tell me. Hell, a friend could tell me and be like, hey, just letting you know, I know she told you this, bro, but hey, nah, that ain't true. I cooked that last week. I'd be like, oh, damn. I'd be upset. But at the end of the day, there's certain ways I can find out information. But if I got to be a detective my damn self to find out some shit, no, take all the wedding gifts back. The house, don't want it. I don't want none of that. I'm out.
Damn,
I'm sorry.
You're cold.
Josh, I can say all this shit. It's not being cold, but I'm not. Listen, you could be beat up from the waist down. I don't care. Just let a brother know.
Just be
let
honest.
me know. I don't need to know I don't need to fact check you about all the men or women and all this other stuff you done. I don't need all that. Everybody's had partners prior to somebody. So that's why it wouldn't be a big deal if you told me ahead of time. But don't let me go down there and find out. I don't want that. That's just, hell, I prefer somebody done, you know, did something with you before me. That way the expectation is, you know, whatever. But I'm cool, man. And for her, run
especially
fast,
if you are very sacred to, and it's a sacred area, discussion and topic. Just run, even though how bad you are compatible, or, you know, he's the best thing that I've ever had since sliced bread. Run. There's better people out there. Okay. Well, end of show is coming up. The worst time and the worst part of every show is coming to the ending. But I have our thank you message coming up, so stay tuned. We'll be right back.
This is Josh, one of your hosts from the Fellas and Facts podcast. I just want to take the time to say thank you to our fellow listeners, our dedicated listeners who make this show possible. Without you, we cannot do the things that we do. We hope every single day, every single week, when you tune into our episode, you will benefit from it. Get a little bit of feedback, a little bit of help. That is our goal. That is our dream. So let's get to work.
So at the end, are you paying $5,000, cutting off your arm, giving up a kid, you go to Coachella, Lollapalooza, or your favorite band? It just depends. All I say is look between the lines, read the fine print, see what's coming up, talk to people who's been there before. Like, I've never been to Lollapalooza in my life, but if I ever wanted to go, I will talk to Ernest and say, hey, what's the do's and don'ts? Let me get a little bit of background to what I would hear. There's 10,000 stages at Lollapalooza. Am I hearing everybody at once, or does everybody go on at separate times, or whatever the case may be? Those are the kinds of questions I would ask. And of course, I want that VIP, treatment. Everybody wants to be VIP once in a great while. If it's in your means, go out and buy those packages. What say you, Ernest?
I say just about the same thing, Josh. Do your homework, have fun, set your expectations, try to live past those expectations in terms of your fun and euphoria. But at the end of the day, don't go home broke. Don't have to struggle job to job. Parents, let your kids have fun. They don't need a 3-day pass, parents. Give them a 1 day. Figure out what's their favorite artist. Listen to, engage with your kids. See what they've been talking about. Give them a 1 day. Let them get it out of their system. But don't spend the bank on it. It's not worth it. Try to find them a local show where the artist is going to be in town. Hell, it's probably cheaper for you to fly somewhere or drive 2 hours to go watch, some local artist that your kids like, or mainstream artist. It still would probably be cheaper than a 3-day VIP experience. And another thing, kids, you don't need VIP. Leave that to the grown folks. Leave that to us 30 and up people that need VIP.
Ain't that the damn truth? Give it some truth. Once in a great while. You are just the eyes and ears, and you're just the wisdom of the show. Look at you, just the wisdom of the show. It's perfect. I love you. You know that? I love my co-host. I just have to say that.
Oh, don't make me cry on here, man. Don't do that to me.
Oh, boy. Like I say, it's that time. Always stay up to date with updates, news, pictures behind the scenes now on the Facebook, the Fellas and Facts. We did a blooper last week, which was a very funny blooper, if I might add. I still laugh every time I listen to it. Listen to us on Apple, YouTube, and Spotify. We need those likes. We need those comments. We need those subscribers, and we sponsors. I'm willing for you to come up here. I mean, we're getting a lot of likes and clicks and views. I see it. Just come on up here. Supporters and all of our followers, supporters that are for your continued support and your reviews and all your comments. We appreciate you. If you have any inquiries or like to contact us, please email us at thefellas1295@gmail.com. I'm Josh.
This is EJ.
You are listening to The Facts.